Imperial National Wildlife Refuge is a wonderful place to come and visit in the wintertime. The snowbirds are here at that time of the year, so chances for wildlife observation are the best during the winter. We have wonderful hiking trails. Our Painted Desert Trail out Red Cloud Mine Road is a great trail to come and hike.
As the Native Americans were going back and forth up and down the river, they'd stop and jot down these symbols.
The Colorado River is an experience not to be missed. Going up and down the river by boat is a wonderful thing.
The most recognizable one is a man stick figure.
You know, along the river corridor there is awesome amount of water. And you just have to add a little bit of water to the desert to get a lot of greenery back.
Look at that offspring, it's posing pretty amazing.
We kind of are a little oasis in the desert because of the Colorado River. This riparian area that we focus so much on, those cottonwoods and willows, it really acts as a big draw for all the wildlife coming in, especially during the summer months. It's just a green belt of vegetation. And then there's the surrounding desert uplands, which all those critters are pretty much dependent on the water from the river.
Now, the way they're looking, they may see some bighorns.
Imperial is home to bighorn sheep, and we have population on the Arizona side and the California side, and they depend on the Colorado River and its backwaters for its drinking water.
They go up to 5 days without water, so they're really adapted to living in that environment of low water. We're going to practice acting like desert bighorn today as we scale the cliffs to get up and see the cabin.
Watchman's Cabin is a cabin that was near the Eureka Mine on the Arizona side of the Colorado River. There was a cabin that was way up in the Trigo Mountains up there. They could see the steam from the steamboats, they could see the smoke from the steamboats 3 days ahead of schedule before the steamboat actually got to the Eureka Mine. And that person from that top cabin would come down and talk to the rest of the people in the watchman's cabin, and they would be ready to make sure that they had all the ore and everything ready and to get their critical supplies, because if they missed the steamboat, they were going to be out of luck because that was their only line to supplies. The boats that used to go up and down the river would use the cottonwoods and the willows for fuel to make the steam that would get them up and down the river. One of our primary focuses on Imperial Refuge is to restore the native cottonwoods and willows. Part of our mission is to restore as many acres as we can up and down the refuge. The refuge itself is 30 miles long up and down the Colorado River in both Arizona and California.
So what we do is we go in and we take out the invasive salt cedar, and salt cedar uses a lot of water and it drops salt on the ground.
Invasive species are probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, problem that we have for conserving wildlife species or habitat in the entire country, maybe in the world. Invasive species are no more than a plant that's just taken out of its native country and brought into a different country. The natural processes that usually affect that plant are not there. Things like the insects and the different plants that they might compete with, they're gone, and they're able to do extremely well in these new environments, and that means the native plants that we're used to having are not used to having that competitor, and they don't do well against them.
And the problem we're having, you know, we irrigate them, is the salt cedar actually grows quicker than the cottonwood and willow we've planted. So it's kind of tough.
Being over 535 national wildlife refuges across the country in every state, so that's a lot of land and a lot of different kinds of habitat. If we didn't have them, we would probably be lining the Colorado River with our houses, and we would be just in all this habitat. The habitat wouldn't be protected, and people couldn't come to see these resources, and they probably wouldn't exist. And a lot of them would not be able to exist if they didn't have these protected sites.
It's kind of like just being like a steward out here and trying to get the rest of the public to be able to see it and help them, because not everybody has the interest or maybe even the talents, but they still appreciate what's here.